अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। नारायणं गुरुं वन्दे शरण्यं भक्तबान्धवं गौरमनुविष्टं पूर्णां राधादास्यं प्रदायकं रूपानुगाचार्यवर्यम्बुरूपमञ्जरिप्रेष्ठकं पतितपावनकरुणीयं युगाचार्य नारायणम्। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। श्यामसुन्दर श्रीकन्धशेखर स्मेरहासर मुरली मनोहर राधिकर शिखमं कृपानिधे स्वप्रिया चरण किंकरीं कुरु। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वृंदायै तुलसी देव्याय प्रियायै केशवसचं कृष्णा भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यायै नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदम। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhyatama Shri Guru Pada Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva, and to all our masters from past, present and future, and to all the assembled guests here today, my most humble obeisances. So, a little bit I will introduce myself to you. My name is Swami Mahavir. I born in Brazil, specifically in Rio de Janeiro. And since I was 22, I have renounced my my previous life, I mean to say. And then when I was 25, I came to India, and there I lived for 7 years as a monk in ashram. My spiritual master, he ordered me to be there and to be a monk. And then from 2014, I came out of India, and then I began to preach and traveling around the world. And it's been like this for the last 10 years. So whatever I have come to share with you today, this is the teachings of the Vedas and also from all our spiritual masters. So there is actually nothing new that I have come to share with you, in the sense that I have not created anything new. Actually, the absolute truth is eternal. So there is nothing that could be new for the absolute truth. Either you know it or not, but for the reality itself, nothing can be new. Everything is already known. Because the absolute truth is not an object sitting on the shelf that we can reach according to our desire. It's not like that. The absolute truth is a person, is a personality. And that personality has to allow you to come. And not only that, has to give you the way to how to find him. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantiti. Krishna is saying that for those who are worshipping me with love, I will give them the intelligence so that they can come to me. So the path of bhakti that we are going to discuss today is the path of acknowledging that God is a person and is a person with the supreme will. No one can control him. He is the supreme controller of everything. So the only way we can come to him is if we are guided by him. If he will give us the indications, the address, the proper way to find him, then only then we can find. So when I was teenager, I began from around 14 to 15 years old to be very much interested in spirituality. At that time, my grandmother, she took me for a Reiki initiation. So I began to minister Reiki from that time, 15 years old. Then also, she teach me how to do meditation. She gave me so many books from different spiritual lineages. And instead of going to the shopping malls or any type of other programs that a teenager likes, I used to sit with my grandmother and we used to meditate together. We used to discuss so many spiritual points, sometimes also political subjects we used to talk. So that was a very good influence in my life. But then from 17 to 18, I turned very much absorbed in social movements, especially in the left side of the movement, as a socialist or a communist like that. I even joined the Communist Party for some time. So of course, communist is an atheist person. He does not believe in God. So I put everything aside and I just dedicated myself for the social work, for the social welfare. I begin to go to the favelas. Perhaps you are aware of in Brazil, especially in Rio de Janeiro, we are surrounded by thousands of favelas in the middle of the city. So I used to work with them, giving them education, teaching them how to write and read. So working with the homeless people like that. But my vision of the world was very materialistic, because I thought that the cause of people's suffering and the cause of the injustice of the world is due to government issue or due to the rich people. All this type of ideas I was actually sharing with the communist philosophy. But then after that, I went to the university. I studied philosophy. And towards the end of my university, things began to change again. And that calling for the real spirituality, for my relation with God, came very, very strong in my heart. And then gradually, I began to, give up that materialistic conception of life of the leftists. And then I begin to feel again the necessity of having a relationship with God. So there was a moment that I fell on my knees and I began to cry and to call for God. Because once upon a time, back there in my young age, I believed in God. And then I told God, I cannot accept that you are playing hide and seek with us. You cannot be playing hide and seek. Because you are the most important person in our lives. Without you, what is the meaning of life? So you are also not just like a light or energy. You are someone. Because you can hear me, because you can express your love, and you take care of many universes, right? So you're not just light or energy. You are someone. And I want to know who you are. That was my prayer. I will not be satisfied just by believing in you, that you exist. Okay, that is fine. But I want to know who you are. Then I begin to pray like that. Short after that, I decided to leave my city and isolate myself in the mountains. So there I stayed for 6 months, completely isolated in the mount, making a very, very deep transformation in my life. At that moment, I became vegetarian, I became celibate, I was practicing yoga, I began to read Bhagavad Gita, and so many things. So once I came out of that mountain, it was very clear for me that I need to find a spiritual master that can guide me towards God, that can show me God. Because by myself, in my own darkness, how can I find this way? So short after that, I came to know about Krishna, and I came to know very deeply about the Vedic culture. And then I found my spiritual master. And then I came to India, and things happened. Then till being here today with all of you. So after meeting with my spiritual master, I realized that actually I have heart. And I realized what love is. Because before, what I thought that love wasn't actually love. It was a very selfish sentiment that was moving me to feel even superior to others. And that moment in the mountain was the most difficult moment of my life, because I had to face my own self. I have to realize that I was not that perfect person that I thought I was. That I didn't have that much love that I really had. I thought I had. And I found in myself all the faults, all the defects. And that was very difficult to accept. But without facing your own shadow, you can't move towards the light. That is the greatest challenge that everyone has to face. So after that, by meeting with my Guru Maharaj, I realized what love really means and what devotion actually means. So the path of bhakti is the path of love. It's the path of loving devotion, right? So therefore we call the yoga of the heart. Yogis, they try to develop the third eye, but we want to develop the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. Because it is here in the heart that the soul resides, beside with Paramatma. In the Upanishads, it is described that the soul and the super soul, Atma and Paramatma, they are like two birds sitting in a branch of a tree. One bird is tasting the fruit of the tree, but the other bird is just watching. The bird who is tasting the fruit, this is the soul, means we. We are in this world trying to enjoy it. We are thinking that this world now belongs to us. We think that we are now the lords of this world. I have got this body, I have got this intelligence, I can make wonders, I can build big cities, I can, do many incredible things, you become very proud. But actually, there is nothing to be proud about. So, in this way, this part of love, it has to be understood first, not to be felt. So before I try to come to the side of the feelings and the emotions that actually are the base of bhakti. Bhakti is based on emotions, because emotions are the transformations of love. Love is the base emotion, is the primary emotion. This is love. Then from love, so many different types of emotions manifests, right? So, but before we come to that point, it is very important to define what love means and how can we love. Because it's very cheap. Many times people take it very cheaply that, okay, I just feel in my heart, I have such love, I have such a devotion, but it can be going to the wrong way. It can be channeled to the wrong way. How many times did your heart cheat you? So many times. Huh? I think everyone here must have such experience. We can't trust our heart when he is impure. We can only trust our heart when it is completely pure and with the proper understanding. Because emotion should be guided by reason. So first we should anchor ourselves in the proper knowledge, philosophical concepts through reason, not through feelings, not through sentiments. And that's the most challenging part. And not surprisingly, most of the spiritual gurus which are, around, they do the opposite. They will catch you by your feelings, by your emotion, by your sentimentalism, not by the reason, not by fundamenting that knowledge properly. So that's why it's so easy to have many followers. It's very easy. You just try to be emotional with people, friendly with people. But what is the depth of your philosophy? Oh, that doesn't matter. He's such a charming personality. He's such a charming guru. But we should be careful. That's not the way we should judge the spiritual master. Therefore, the Vedas very clearly explain that Sampradaya Vihina Jamantrasta Nisfalam Bhave Sri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnavakstiti Pavana. The Vedas describe that there are 4 schools from which you can have the initiation in mantra. These are called Sampradayas. Sampradayas are the spiritual schools. Only 4 are authorized from Vedas. Sri, Brahma, Rudra and Sanaka Sampradayas. Right? The one we belong, this is called Brahma Sampradaya. So, the first thing you have to ask that person you want as a candidate for being a guru is to ask him, from which Sampradaya do you belong? Are you connected with the pure disciplic succession or not? Why that is so important, I'm telling you. Because the source of everything is Krishna, is God. So Krishna, he reveals the Vedas. Krishna himself is the object of the Vedas. And Krishna himself, he is giving this knowledge first to Brahma. Brahma is the demigod who creates this material world. So Brahma gives to Narada Muni. Narada gives this knowledge to Vyasa. And Vyasa is the one who puts the Vedas into a book form. Before the Vedas were in oral, transmission. Then after Vyasadeva, then Shukadeva Goswami, his son. And from Shukadeva Goswami to Sutta Goswami. And then like this we go till our living Guru. So that chain cannot be broken. Otherwise the power, the Shakti, the flow of love will be cut off. So that is why it's so important to find the Guru in a proper way. If you become sentimentalist in the very beginning, you are bound to make a mistake. Bound. Because sometimes The guru, the real guru, he's not so charming, he's not so sweet, he's not so loving. He can be very heavy, very chastising. We both of us, we have this experience. Our gurus, they are very heavy, especially his Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Puri Goswami Maharaj. Very heavy. Well, that's the meaning of the word guru. Guru means heavy. Guru cannot be light, he cannot be lagu. He should be guru. Why guru cannot be light and sweet? Because too much of sweetness make you diabetic. Spiritually diabetic. If guru is light, then Maya will be much heavier and you go to Maya's side. So why guru should be heavy? Because he must, on the scale, weigh more than anyone else, than anything else. Then he can anchor and ground you, otherwise Maya will take you away. Yesterday we discussed about Maya, right? Even one lady asked, but is it Maya something good or bad? How can Maya be good for us, not always bad? Then I told her, Maya is not embracing us, we are embracing Maya. Maya is the energy of Krishna. She's a Shakti, she's Durga. So she can be very helpful to you. If you want to serve Krishna, Maya will help you. But if you want to enjoy the world as if you were God, then Maya will punish you heavily, bitterly. Huh? You know, Maya is personified as Durga. You have heard about Durga, right? Durga is the 10-armed deity sitting in the tiger, the lion sometimes. The translation for the word Durga means fortress. Fortress is a place that you cannot escape by your own will. You have been kept there. You are locked up in that fortress. You can't come out unless the owner of that place gives order. Someone opens the door, then you can go, otherwise not. So this material world is like this jail, it's like a fortress. And Durga, she is guarding that. And she won't allow you to come out unless the boss gives permission. And who is the boss? That is Krishna. So in this way, I have come here to share with you very, very traditional aspect of the knowledge. A very sincere teaching in the way we have experienced of almost 20 years in India. So we know how things work. And sometimes we think that love can only be manifested through petting, caressing, praising. No. Love can be also expressed by chastisement, by correction. Like now they have 2 kids, small kids. If they only speak sweet words and don't give limits, the children will be spoiled, will grow completely uncontrolled, and they will only do mischief. You know, the person who becomes a thief was because the parents could not give limits. So love comes many times as a reproach. And that's what Guru should do with us. So through the relationship with Guru, you begin to experience that real love, that real care that is making us polished, that is polishing ourselves, cleaning our hearts, and manifesting to us the real devotion that we have for God. So the path of bhakti is very sweet, very sweet. I think all of you like to sing the mantras, the names of God. This is bhakti yoga only. Now everywhere, kirtan and mantra festival became like a fever, right? Everywhere. Everyone becomes like, electrified by this. So why is that power coming? The power comes from the names of God. I can suggest you to do the same festival. Instead of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra or any other mantra, you can pick up just any ordinary word. Like for example, pillow. Try to repeat pillow, pillow, pillow for hours and feel something good. You can't feel. Even if you have the best musician, the best singer, who can sing like a cuckoo, you cannot do it. So these words are not ordinary words. It's not just for entertainment. It's not just beautiful, artistic beautiful. It has a lot of power inside. And that love that we want, we can actually get it from the name of God. The first contact we have with God is actually through His name. In Judaism, the name of God is forbidden to say. Any Jewish person here? No. The name of God is forbidden to say. But what a pity thing. How can we not speak the name of God? This is the best thing we have in the whole existence. That's the name of God. So we first know someone by asking you, what is your name? Right? So what is the name of God? How does He looks like? So after that, my prayer that I told you, then Krishna, He appeared. Then I realized, yes, His name is Krishna. He has such form. He performs such pastimes. He has brought such knowledge and teachings like that. So we cannot directly experience Krishna because till now our heart is still not so clean. And how can you clean your heart? By chanting the names. The best way to clean your mind, your heart, is by mantra. The word mantra means man, mind. Tra means to conduct. So the vehicle of the mind is the sound. Not any sound. The name of God being repeated. That can guide your mind towards God Himself. So the best way to taste this love is right now for us available in the shape of name. That's why people become so attracted for chanting. They even don't know what is going on. But they can sit there for hours listening and they will dance also ecstatically as we are going to do today, hopefully. Because this sound vibration, this spiritual sound vibration, it comes inside our body and it activates our soul. This is like a calling for the soul. Then the soul can dance. Dance is something very important. Once, I will tell you one story. When I came to China for the first time, I was staying in the house of one Taoist lady. So she had everywhere around her house these, Taoist symbols and the, verses, sutras, everything like that. So then that reminded me that for some time in my life, I was also following Taoism. And even I used to write Tao aphorisms, just like continuing, the work of Lao Tse. So then that reminded me that I wrote so much about Tao, but I never wrote anything about Krishna. Because I was a poet, I used to live by selling my own poetry books. I used to print in a very, like to say, very simple way and sell on the streets like that. I lived like this for 4 years as like a street poet, I mean to say. So then I had this, pride that, I can write many beautiful things, but I never wrote anything for Krishna. I have to redeem myself. I must write something for Krishna. So at that time, something came in my mind that to compare the Tao and Krishna. But the Tao is such a thing that Lao Tse describes as something that flows like a river, that is always new, but also the oldest one, right? So there are so many type of, contradiction, like paradoxes, in the description of Tao. Then I thought, yes, You can see Tao from one perspective, but if you see from another perspective, Tao is Krishna. Because Tao is flowing like a river, dancing like a river. In the same way, Krishna is dancing. Krishna is the best dancer. So if you want to do this yoga, if you want to unite yourself with Krishna, you cannot just sit and meditate with your closed eyes and your crossed legs. Otherwise, you'll be just like the rocks standing in the middle of the river, but not the river itself. So if you want to flow in this yoga with Krishna, if you want to dance with Krishna, the meditation should be dance. Dancing should be the meditation. And this is not something that I have created. This is what the Veda says. The Veda says that the best yoga is to dance by singing the names of God. Once, Lord Shiva, he was dancing to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, he was lying on the bed of a big serpent, a big cobra called Anantashesh. Anantashesh has thousands of hoods. So, as Mahavishnu is watching the dance of Shiva, very ecstatic dance, he becomes also very ecstatic. And he becomes very heavy, very heavy. And the cobra cannot float anymore in the ocean. Then as Mahavishnu is almost touching the water, Shiva stopped dancing. And then Mahavishnu again can float. Then this cobra asked Mahavishnu, "My Lord, I have never seen you like this. Why is so special this dance of Shiva? I want to learn also this dance, and I want to teach everyone about this dance." And then Mahavishnu gave him blessings and said, "Yes, you can go." So that same very Anantashesh, that big cobra, descended in this world as Patanjali. And Patanjali, he came to systematize the yoga process, the Ashtanga yoga, the 8 processes of yoga. Did he create that or not? No. That was given by Krishna before, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna is the origin of the Ashtanga yoga, not Patanjali. Patanjali, he just made the teachings like systematically. So the dance is the perfect expression of our emotions, and combining that with devotion, with religion, you make that dance becomes completely ecstatic. So you are chanting the holy names, you are expressing those emotions through the dance because you are celebrating. Once you come in touch with the energy of God, that energy is celebration, is bliss, is ananda, is happiness. Many people, they ask us, why you people are so happy? You're always chanting, dancing on the streets. The world is so chaotic. How can you be always happy like this? It is very simple. We are not connecting, our yoga is not with this material world. We don't do yoga with the news. Our yoga is with God. Our yoga is with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But people like to do yoga with the material world. Always hearing the bad things, always connecting with the poison of the material world. For what reason? Our nature is to be happy. Our nature is to be blissful. Our nature is to love and be loved. But we can only do that with Krishna, not with anybody else. If you try to apply this with any material personality, like ourselves, among ourselves, we cannot. We cannot. So, following Bhakti Yoga means following the path of devotion, or the path of the heart, but first with a very important grounding of philosophy. So if you would define love, how that would be? We can define it so many ways. Great poets have defined love in beautiful ways. But what does the Veda says about it? So the Veda says, Atmindriya prittivancha tare bole kam. Krishna indriya prittivancha bole premanam. So Krishna is saying, not Krishna, sorry, Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying, Kaviraj Goswami, that when you try to satisfy your senses, this is called lust. No matter how, being yours or anybody else's senses, this is called lust. But when you try to satisfy the senses of Krishna, then this is love. So if you try to please God, this is the real love. But if you try to please yourself or please somebody else, that cannot be called love. That is a shadow of love, and this is lust. Lust means I want to gratify my senses. I love this person as long as it makes me good, as long as it feels good. But in the very moment that that person does something wrong against you, that love is finished. But my Gurudev used to say, love is such a thing that whatever comes against that love, trying to weaken it, it will only make it more strong. Love cannot be weakened by anything. If it's real love, it can only increase. So in a transcendental reality of Krishna, there is nothing that can destroy this loving relationship, nothing. Even the separation that may happen from Krishna, that only is to increase love. So right now you might ask, if God is only love, why He left us orphans? Why He's not here to take care of us? No, He is, but you have left Him. That's the sad reality. We left God. We thought we can dwell alone by ourselves and we can just be around with other human beings or other animals or other whatever species they are, as if we are independent. But He never left us. He's there. And if you are sincere enough, He will appear to you and He will manifest to you for sure. 100% sure. God is not hiding from us. We are hiding from Him. He's actually very close. He's just here, very close. But we have to turn our face towards Him. But we are always looking away to the wrong directions. So, this separation that we feel now from God, it is very important to increase our love. Right now, our love for God is a very small, flame, very small. We have to increase this love. And how are we going to increase this love? By chanting God's name, by hearing about Him, by serving those who are already connected. There is another very important point to clarify. Does devotion comes from God or not? Does God can give you devotion for Him or not? This is my question to you. What do you think? No. Why?
The devotion has to come from us.
But if we don't know what devotion means, then who is going to ignite that in our heart? Can God do that or not? In one sense, yes. Because God is absolute, everything comes from Him. But in a practical sense, no. Why? Because He's not worshipping Himself. He's not serving Himself. So how He can teach you how to serve Him? That's why Guru is so important. Because Guru is the one who has devotion for God in a perfected way, and he can ignite your devotion. Because you have the potential, but that is dormant. That's not acting right now. It needs a spark to come from outside to ignite that. So that's why many people will say, I don't need a Guru. I can just connect myself with God automatically. No, that's the biggest mistake. You cannot. You can pray to God, and God will send you a Guru so that that Guru can help you to send you back to God. That's how it works. The verse says, Brahmanda bromite kon bhagyavan jiv Guru Krishna prasade pai bhakti lata bij. We are entities that are wandering from millions and millions of lives in different universes, born in different species of life. Countless species, countless births we had. But one fortunate entity will have the mercy of Krishna to find a Guru. And by the mercy of Guru, he is going to find Krishna. This is how things work. This is how the Vedas explain the dynamic of the spiritual path.